y le doy las gracias a Dios que nos ayudó a seguir adelante y levantando fondos, vendiendo de lo que podíamos, periódicos, vendiendo platos de comida, tamales. Teníamos una familia Peña, la hermana era la directora de los tamales. Empezamos a trabajar y a levantar fondos y pues a veces no había suficiente para seguir edificando, pero Dios suplía las necesidades y añadiendo Riddle, que vendía el dulce de cacahuate también, y pues Dios empezó a suplir las necesidades y yo soy partidaria de que Dios suple las necesidades de sus hijos cuando uno se dedica a la obra de Dios. Bueno, mi consejo sería para todos que la obediencia a Dios, la dedicación a la obra tiene su galardón, y Dios nos ha prometido que aquí en la tierra no tendremos galardones, pero allá en el cielo tendremos una corona si le somos fieles al Señor y perseveramos en su camino y obedecemos sus mandamientos, y es un ejemplo bueno para nuestros hijos. Yo doy gracias a Dios que tengo unos hijos que Dios ha tocado y que el Señor los ha bendecido, y toda mi familia le sirve al Señor, y yo le doy muchas gracias al Señor por eso, y agradezco a mis hijos también su apoyo que ellos nos dieron aquí en este lugar cuando estaban creciendo.
Fue en 1978 cuando tomé el pastorado aquí en Arlington. Dios ha estado obrando maravillosamente, gradualmente, pero la obra ha continuado y ha tenido crecimiento. Y yo creo que en 1980 teníamos aproximadamente 20 y tantos estudiantes en la escuela. Bueno, tuvimos hermano Richard Harold, tuvimos al hermano Anthony Bradley, tuvimos a Robert Castañeda, tuvimos con nosotros al hermano Felipe Rangel. Bueno, tuvimos otros ministros con nosotros que después se movieron. Bueno, la construcción del edificio fue el trabajo más enorme que tuvimos, ¿verdad? Desde el principio sabemos que el Señor estaba trabajando con nosotros. Despacio, lentamente, pero logramos, ¿verdad?, adquirir los adelantos hasta este día, con la gracia de Dios. Y dedicamos el templo en 1987. Era un gozo, ¿verdad?, de ver que el trabajo, el edificio que por varios años estuvimos trabajando, luchando para levantarlo y terminarlo, pues era de gozo, de alegría, ¿verdad?, ver el trabajo ya completo, ¿verdad?, después de tantos años de trabajar en él. Siendo una pequeña congregación que con muchos sacrificios se pudo llevar a cabo ese trabajo. Pues el futuro, ¿verdad?, que un día vamos a tener una grande congregación, que en este día ya tenemos bastantes miembros en la iglesia, que es suficiente para sostener y emprender proyectos nuevos, ¿verdad? Eso nos ha concedido el Señor.
Te adoro, te My father's ministry has affected my family in that we all learned to work for the Lord. We all put our hand to whatever was presented. If my children were too young, they were there backing us up. My husband and I, we worked hard. Also, my three daughters were baptized there. They gave their hearts to the Lord. And some of the struggles we faced during Dad's pastorship was that he worked hard. He had his job, and then he'd come home from work and we'd go to church. Some of the memories I have are when it rained before the building was completed. There was a lot of mud and we'd get stuck. We'd have to pull each other out of the mud. and also it was just a lot of work. We were there to help him. The year came when our mother got sick with cancer, and that was difficult because she continued her role as the pastor's wife, and we continued being, I guess, her right hand because of her illness. And so when she went to be with the Lord, it was a big void there, because she was always in church, whether she was feeling well or not. Sometimes she would be doubled over in pain, but she was an example to us. So it was a struggle, but we can do it. My mother's had a dream. Well, she loved roses. She loved all kinds of roses. I think her favorite was it was a red rose. It's called the Lincoln rose or something like that. And she came up with this idea that she wanted to have a memorial garden for all the saints, the brothers and sisters who would go home to be with the Lord, and she wanted them to be remembered in this manner. So she was the first one. We planted her rose bush there. And if you see outside, you'll see the different rose bushes that have been planted in memory, and it's something beautiful. I see the church impacting the city, the community, in that it's available for anyone who has a need. The doors are always open. There's always somebody there to receive.
Dios de pactos, que guardas tus promesas, que cumples tu palabra, que guías mi destino.
We accepted to accept the Arlington Apostolic Church, and they offered us to supply our financial needs until we were able to build up the church here. We were installed here on the month of January, the 4th day in 1987. And from then on we started to work here with the group that were here. And Brother Ramoncito Gonzalez had been the pastor, and he turned over the pastorship in that service. The church hadn't been finished. It hadn't been approved by the city to be used as a church yet. We have no gas. We were using a butane gas stove in the kitchen. We had the tank, butane tank there in the kitchen. And when the inspector seen that, he told me, "Do you know what you have here?" I told him, "No, we have a butane stove here with gas." He said, "Oh, he said, you have a time bomb here." He said, "You have to get rid of this immediately right now." So we took it, disconnected it, and he said, "I'll get you the gas here tomorrow." Although we didn't have the use permit yet, but the Lord touched it to give us that blessing. And also electricity, we just had temporary electricity, and he said, "I'll get you electricity direct into the building." And he did that also, and not having yet, like I mentioned, the use permit of the building. So we continue working with the membership here, and we started evangelizing, having services, and starting to repair and build whatever was needed. The outside, the landscaping hadn't been finished, so we had to do that, and the Lord blessed us, and we were able to set everything.